like no one else.
Michael Johnson put out a very solid performance against Mark DeCasey, and the common theme with Michael Johnson is that he will be winning fights and somehow, some way, lose them. He's picked up wins over a solid Tony Ferguson, Edson Barboza, knocked out Dustin Poirier, beat Gleason 2-bar KO'd him. Like, he went on a pretty solid streak, and the split decisions killing him. Some of his in-fight adjustments, or where he'll let his emotions get in the way, it was hindering him a lot. So you can definitely see that a lot in his fights against Nate Diaz. Round 1, sticking to the game plan, wins the first round, proceeds to lose the next 2 rounds because he starts getting into an unnecessary boxing brawl with Diaz, right? And then after the Khabib fight, it seems like he had a little bit of PTSD on the ground. Like, you'd notice that he would just kind of fold just a bit. He, takes 3 losses in a row at lightweight, goes down to featherweight, beats Andre Fili in a very close fight, gets the split decision out there, then beats up Conor McGregor's boy Artem Lobov. And then Josh Emmett, he is beating the piss out of Josh Emmett. Like, watch that fight, he's beating him, and this is the man that's about to fight for an interim title at featherweight. And in the final moments of the fight, final minute or so, he gets knocked out, and it's just brutal. It's just brutal to see somebody like him. And he was looking good. Like, he deserves more than level 3 boxing combinations. His jab is way better than the level 2. His body jab, especially after seeing him work against the Casey, but against plenty of other guys. Like, if there's anything that should be buffed with Michael Johnson, it's his move levels. His power is good. 94 is good, and everything else is pretty solid. But if you can't get anything else up with the durability, just give him a better jab and body jab. But in the clinch, he's pretty solid. We saw that in the Justin Gaethje fight. Wrestling is there. He wasn't an NJCAA wrestler. Was a top-ranked guy for some time. Didn't win the national title. Or I don't think he All-American either. But solid guy. Kind of like gassing him. I think his boxing combinations could be a little bit higher, like a level 4. Just give him a little bit extra love, yeah. Let's put some respect on Michael Johnson. We're going to have some fun, go into a quick fight, and do what we can. Another thing was that Stevie Ray fight. I don't know. The Stevie Ray fight. I think he went back to lightweight. He's pretty sure I thought he won that. And then Thiago Moises fight, he's beating the piss out of Thiago Moises. And I think he went to take him down. I didn't watch that. I hasn't rewatched that fight while this guy's doing this long ass intro. I didn't rewatch that fight, but he was fucking winning that fight. And then that happened. And then the Guida fight, I think it was just very mental. KO'd Alan Patrick. Lost to James Marlarkey. I think nobody thought he lost that fight. And then just beat the Casey. So let's focus on the Holloway in front of us. So if you're going to work with Michael Johnson, I would say he is one of the best 3.5-star fighters in the game when you use him correctly, the way that he fights. If you've been following my channel for the last 3 years, almost 4 now, all my showcases are meant to showcase the fighter as the fighter is how they fight. That has never changed. Obviously, I'll have a little bit of my own flair to it, but at its core is fighting like the fighter. So Michael Johnson loves to work off an angle. We're going to get a rock there. Likes to work off the angle off of his jab. He'll plant his jab, step in with his jab. Then off the body jab, he'll work up top with some combinations. So he'll do things like the body jab into the uppercut. And of course, he'll throw in some hard kicks. Doesn't throw the kicks with the best technique, but they are hard kicks, and shin-on-shin contact does suck. I can tell you that from experience. But Max is always going to be a tough out. But this Max is throwing a lot of hard combinations. So all I want to do is I just want to land. Short shots. Let him punch himself out, let him throw whatever. Because even though Max has so much cardio, if you're making somebody whiff and you're constantly just tapping, and sapping away at their energy. Case in point too, if they're throwing kicks and they're whiffing on kicks, that takes a lot more from the stamina. Oh, that's good. A lot more from the stamina pool. See, when you throw a body kick, if you can intercept somebody when they're throwing a body kick and attack their body, it does a good amount of damage. So that was really good. Yeah, I was very, very, very happy for MJ. Me and my boys were watching the fight, and I was like, please don't get fucking knocked out by a cartwheel kick or spinning heel kick. And DeCasey started throwing that shit in the final 30 seconds. I'm like, no, you stop doing that shit right now. Oof. He's a rocker still because his stamina's probably low. Yeah, I was getting so worried. I'm like, don't fumble it. Because I feel like all that's mental. It has to be like a mental thing too. Of course, he gets caught out of position at times in those losses, but a lot of it definitely has to be mental. We're going to stay out here. And I'm surprised that DeCasey thought that he won the fight. I thought it was pretty clear. It was 29-28. Whoever scored 30-27, I definitely don't agree with that. Thought the Casey really clearly took the first round, but who knows what he was saying. Oof, good front kick. Let's start sidestepping. We gotta be careful though. So I always talk about whenever you're fighting against somebody, just be aware of the threats that fighter has. Like the threat of Max's chin, right? Like this guy can take my 1-2s as it stands, even though his face is pretty bloodied up right now. He can afford to stay in extended exchanges and win those. Okay, he's waiting for me to commit to something. I'm gonna chill. But yeah, Max Holloway can afford to take 1 or 2 punches if it means it'll lead to him getting a stamina advantage and then him planting a little bit more damage on the strikes because you have a lower short-term stamina advantage, right? Banking on the chin, and you can see that a couple times where I'm landing on this Max and he's still able to go through it, but it's still damage that's landing. He's just not getting hit stunned. See, the chin affects your rate of getting hit stunned. It doesn't make you invulnerable. It doesn't make you godlike all the freaking time. If you do something that makes you vulnerable, you're still more likely than not going to feel the result of that, but it just decreases the likelihood of certain things, which is why it always feels like Max can just kind of walk through strikes like a Terminator, unless you're going against a very solid Alexander Volkanovski. So we're gonna stick to the game plan. Consistency is key. MJ, I thought he was going for a body tee, but did not expect it though. Consistency is the key with MJ. We gotta keep it very simple. Meat and potatoes. He's missing some moves too. He doesn't have his elite body teep. Doesn't have a front kick of his own. He's throwing that against Gaethje. Oof, good body kick. We gotta take a mental note of that. But with MJ, it's about keeping it as simple and fundamental as possible. Adding a little bit of flair when the opponent starts to get hurt. That's bad. I should have landed that. And then just let me out of range, but we're going to ignore that. No. So I said that slightly. Not every shot needs to be a kill shot. Not every shot has to be, oh, but we get a rock there. Ooh, he shot the arm. Yeah, not every shot has to be this one-punch KO shot. We just got to line ourselves up and just see what our opponent's trying to do. Like, every single time, I noticed after the first exchange, right? He'll use 2 to step in, and then he tries to plant. And if he sees I'm out of range, see he's following up with kicks, or he tries to follow up with more punches. He's trying to use that front kick as an intercepting front kick, but he's not really timing it. That's more wishful thinking. That's how I would like to call it. Oh, for fuck's sake, yay! Esto de gracero que no sabe cómo arreglar el maldito juego. Alright, that's another good jab. Oh! It's that vulnerability. If you throw the empty slip straight, the lead hook becomes a very good punish against that, especially when they're dipping off to that side. Sometimes if you try to throw the hook on the other side, where it's their head is moving away from, there's a chance it can hit the shoulder and it can deflect the damage a little bit. So a little bit of realism there from EA, but nothing beneficial. Oh my boy. Oh my boy. Why would you throw that? Your stamina is getting cooked. It's a lot of whiffs. Ooh, ho, ho, ho. Max is slowing down. I don't know why he keeps fucking sliding me back. I heard that. See, look at the torso of Holloway. See how it's bruising on the left side? Even on the right side, you can see it there on that kick attempt. His body health is low. Oh my god. His body health is low. You know, I can't just tell you how to do something and not follow my own advice. We're going to work the way that I say that Michael Johnson should be working. If he sees his opponents hurt and wounded, you keep the pressure, but you got to be very calculated. Keep doing what's working. Change up the shot selection, the different pattern, different rhythm, break your rhythm. And he did that pretty well. We got that rear hook. That was all there against against the Casey as well. Ooh! Oh, we didn't get the flash. Should have got the flash. That's a great way to end the round. That should be a 10-8 in my opinion. That should be a 10-8. This is against Max. Yeah, this is against Max. Which kind of goes to show your pick. I will always say this though. The picks do matter in terms of what the game would kind of allow you to get away with. Like there's stuff that Conor players, I think people that use kind of like Conor or Volk or, you know, obviously Max themselves, if they're not going against each other, those three are going against each other in this division. there's certain things that those fighters can get away with easier because they're the fighters that they are, but also because of the way certain mechanics work in the game. But at the end of the day, good timing will carry you a long way. And that's where you can see guys like Marshall Mine using lower rated fighters to win it. You can see guys like GOAT 1099 using lower rated fighters to win it. See guys like Pryor, when he decides to use a lower rated fighter, he'll win some good fights as well. And it's not always going to be about who has this, and that. It's just knowing when to go. There's never an end-all solution when you're playing this game. You know, there's not a hidden combo that's going to win you fights. It's just all about timing. Sit him down, pop him again. And that should be it. No, it's not. God damn, that chink's a motherfucking problem. I believe in featherweight, his power is 93, so just 1 point less than in featherweight. Oh, wing and left hook. We're going to attack the body. Just going to keep playing this game. I'm going to use the minor back steps to kind of keep myself out of range too. There we go. Pop. Popping him with the jab. Now we can afford the angle off. Step out. Oh, got him. Popped him again with the jab. And full vulnerability. Another jab. Getting these mean hit stunts. And that's all she wrote. Body TKO against Max Holloway with the 3.5-star fighter, Michael Johnson. Just wanted to do this quick little showcase. I don't think I've showcased him before on my channel. Maybe I have. But it's pretty cool to see fighters that are getting counted out per se, or like, yeah, their time is done, just refusing to be written off. So props to Michael Johnson for sticking in there after some devastating losses and being able to get wins still at a pretty high level. But that's going to be it for the showcase. I will have some showcases for the newer fighters. I really want to make sure they're all really clean, good showcases. Y'all deserve that. Y'all been waiting a while. So for the 3 new fighters that got added, I promise y'all it's going to top anybody else's showcase, whatever y'all seen. If y'all don't think that, then you're tripping. But anywho, that's going to be it for Michael Johnson. Got the W. Remember 17. I appreciate all of you and all support recently. I'm out of here.